Alan Smith, President and CEO, Spartanburg Area Chamber of Commerce, Spartanburg Economic Futures Group. So phase 2 of the plan had 8 stories. And again, the 8 stories were all predicated on economic research and community feedback. So story number 1 was low education attainment and signs of a growing gap. Unfortunately, low education attainment is a South Carolina issue, not really totally unique to Spartanburg, but it's something that we've got to improve on. In fact, we must improve on it, because if we don't, we will not be able to play in the space, the white-collar recruitment space, which is another issue for Spartanburg and South Carolina in general, is the per capita income issue. In South Carolina, we've got to do a better job of recruiting higher wage jobs, but then we also got to do a better job of making sure that people that are currently earning 0 start to earn something as well, and that's how you drive averages up. So story number 1, again, was low education attainment. Story number 2 really talked about our success as an economic development powerhouse in the upstate. Story number 3 talked about poverty, and again, South Carolina issue, but a issue for us in Spartanburg, and that really goes back to education and economic development. Stories 4, 5, and 6 almost had everything to do with talent. Talent recruitment, talent development, and talent retention. A couple points related to stories 4, 5, and 6 are, we have 7 colleges in Spartanburg. At any given point, we have 14,000 to 16,000 college students in this community. How many are staying upon graduation, and do they have the jobs here that would entice them to stay? We're also in a very challenging regional environment. So within a stone's throw, you have Charlotte, you have Asheville, you have Greenville, and right now those 3 communities are doing a very good job of attracting young talent. We've got to start getting in that game. Story number 7 was entrepreneurship, unrealized potential. We have so many entrepreneurial assets in this community, but they haven't always been aligned. And when you look at the peer communities by the data, Chattanooga, Hamilton County, Winston-Salem, Forsyth County, when you measure the number of startups that those communities are producing versus the number of startups that we are producing, we have a lot of work to do as it relates to entrepreneurial development, which we've already addressed. Before the implementation plan was even approved, we hired a full-time director of entrepreneurial development. And then story number 8, unfortunately, Market Street says is something they encounter in every single community, and that's community cohesion. As a nation, we're still divided amongst racial lines. We're still divided, amongst the have and the have-nots. And so that is really the whole reason and the whole justification of calling this entire process OneSpartanburg. One thing that I absolutely love about this community is there's so many communities that want to highlight the bright spots. They want to highlight the glitzy, glamorous Main Street, but they don't want to talk about the data that isn't so flattering. And when you forget about the data that isn't so flattering, you're forgetting about people. You're forgetting about people in a community that matter. And that's not what Spartanburg's about. Spartanburg at this point is obsessed with being better, but also making sure that everyone shares in that success, not just a handful of special people.